All right, so we have a big move that's happening. If you did not play today's video, this is February 18th. Pre-market video I did today. I set this trade up that's happening right now. The trade was this. We went over in the last video, this oscillator that I just went over with all the members. All you members, you now have the exact settings on this oscillator, how to set it up. Do we need to buy liquidity grab sweeps or sell liquidity grab sweeps? If you did not play the first video, or if you missed the first video, Gerald recorded it on 218. Play that video on this chart. In summation, it's very simple. If I'm above this white line, I'm buying liquidity grab sweeps. I'm buying buy zones on my entry chart, our proprietary buy zones. If I'm below this white line, I'm shorting sell zones, our proprietary sell zones. In other words, if I'm above this line in the sand right here, this white line, that is buy side liquidity grab sweeps. If I'm below this white line, it's sell side liquidity grab sweeps. Oops, there. So if I'm below, it's red, right below the white line, we're shorting. If we're above it, we're buying. What did we come into today? My pre-market setup, and it is a beauty that's going on right now with the runner. It is a beauty. We have a trade right now. You should have a trade from 9:35 to 10:10 in the morning in the futures market. Here we go. When I first got on the video at 3 a.m. this morning, I'm sorry, 1:30 a.m. this morning, our oscillator, which I just set up for all you members on your own charts, it broke through 50, the line in the sand. It's above. I said, if we are above, and last week, what I tell you, our blue 50 moving average, if you're above it, you need to look for buy side liquidity. You start closing above the 50 here yesterday at noon. This is one way to do it. You can see we're above the 50. Above the 50, stayed above the 50 there. Stayed above the 50 here, never closed below it, right? So we're buy side liquidity since noon yesterday, just by looking at the 50 there. But I made it easier for you guys and gals. Look at the oscillator. If it's above 50, you're in a buy side liquidity. We're buy side liquidity going into pre-market before the New York opened up. So what do? We're looking for buy zones. Check this out. I said, wait for it. After I do the 5-minute opening range, wait for the buy setup. Check this out by using these, just using this chart and this chart by itself. This chart of getting us on the right side of the market with this oscillator. This chart getting on the right side with this oscillator and using my entry chart, my entry technique with my buy zones. Look at this push that we're in. This is the first qualified setup after 9:35. Of all the videos we did together last week, pre-market and after the market open, I said, listen, look for trades from 9:35 to around 10:10 to 10:15. You should possibly have a big potential runner. The entry on the yellow trigger entry here, and it had your alarm that went off on your speakers at 68.78. Now you know how to cherry pick the buy and sell zones. If you want to use our automated algorithm to get you in automatically with the trail, you know, with your stop, your hard stops and targets, you can turn it on only on buy side liquidity grabs getting inside the zones, or you can do it manually with Chart Trader. The entry was 68.78 was the automated entry on our automated system, or if you got in on Chart Trader, plus or minus a few ticks. 68.78, and it's been as high as 69.15. 68.78, high as almost 16. All right. That was the first qualified entry we had. Why? Let's take a look. Let's take a look since 9:30. 9:30 opens up right here. Let's take a look. We're buy side liquidity since yesterday, right? since yesterday at noon. So you do not take yellow trigger entries. You do not turn on the algorithm, automated algorithm for any shorts. Why? This is where they're grabbing liquidity. No yellow trigger entries here. You do not take this. They're adding liquidity in right here. Why? We know this because I educated you guys last week. If you're above the 50 MA on the 30-minute chart, we need to look for buy-side liquidity buys only. Well, now I made it even easier. Now I got an oscillator that tells us if I'm above 50, I'm a buyer in the market. If I'm below 50, I'm a shorter. I'm selling in the market. Selling the 12th, the 13th, the 15th, the 16th, the 17th until noon. And then so for 3 days, we shorted the market. Sell side liquidity. Buy side came in at noon yesterday above the 50. It just crossed over above the 50 at 1:30 in the morning on the oscillator. So in pre-market, I said, traders, look at the chat. Let's go back and look at the chat. The chat said this at the open at 9:40. I said, patience, let it line up. Strength is still up. Capitals, no shorts. 5-minute range, opening range is done. This will indicate which side of the pressure the market is in. Still above the 50 MA and relative strength is up. No shorts at 9:43, posted in the room. 9:43, waiting for first setup. Looking for buys. And then we got it right after that. So all this junk in here, I'm saying, wait, don't look for shorts. The relative strength is up. We're above the 50. Relative strength is up. We're above our 50 line in the sand on the oscillator. Showed you guys how to set up. We're above the 50-day moving average since yesterday at 11:30. We've been nothing but buy-side bias since 11:30 to noon yesterday. Nothing but buy-side bias. Look at it. That's when I closed above its 50. We did 3-4 videos on it last week and pre-market and post-market trades. But now the oscillator helps you out even more. We were up above. The 50 line in the sand here. I showed you how to set up on your own charts, members, today. It told you no shorts. I'm typing in the room. No shorts. The strength of the market is up. And what did they do? They tried to head fake all these amateur traders. Look at this. What I tell you pre-market, I said the trend zone is down, but the relative strength is up. It's conflicting. The strength is up. So you want to match relative strength. Either it tanks and we go below 50 and we match up relative strength and take shorts, or we get into the first buy zone and take it long. And sure enough, it went into the first buy zone. There it is. Look at the relative strength. It is up. They grabbed all this liquidity. Look, all this from this low, just by using this technique, it gets your mind right. From this low all the way across until it got to my buy zone, the smart money grabbed all these contracts. They're not looking for a 1, 2, 3 point push. They're looking for a 15, 20, 30 point push in the S&P. Now we know exactly when to buy and sell with the relative strength of the market. If the strength is strong, we're buying liquidity grabs if it's above the 50 and our oscillator is above 50. If it's below 50 and we're below the 50, then we're shorting liquidity grabs. So we only had one qualified setup today. It came right inside of it. Here's my zone. And I told traders I'll put the opening range up, the first 5-minute opening range, right after the first 5 minutes. There's your first 5-minute opening range. There was a high, there was a low. We don't take shorts because the relative strength has been up since yesterday at 11:30. It's been above the 50-day or 50 moving average on our chart. And more importantly, look at the relative strength line. We're above 50. So we're only looking for buy side liquidity. We avoid this. That's how you get chopped out. we break above the opening range and show the pressure in the market is up. There it is. We're looking for the first buy side liquidity because our strength in the market is up. We're going to buy high, sell higher. It comes exactly right inside my trend zone. There's my dashes, green dashes, right inside my trend zone. There's your first setup of the trading day inside my trend zone with the strength of the market up, because we're buying. We're buying. We're not shorting. There's your yellow trigger entry. There's your, it's above the opening range. Pressure's up. There's our arrow. Your automated audible alert came on right here. That's when the audible alert came on. Entry at 78 plus or minus a few ticks. Your stop is below the zone. The market blasts off from 78 all the way to 15. Market comes down. The relative strength of the market is obviously up. We know not to short, because now this is where the market feeds on the amateur trader. It feeds on them. You want to short divergence? We'll take you out. You have a Fibonacci running into? We'll take you out. You're running into pivot levels? We'll take you out. The market feeds on amateur traders because every indicator is designed pretty much, that comes with all these trading platforms, are designed to counter trade the market. So now the market, what's it doing? It's feeding on shorts right now. What confirmed this liquidity grab right here is a broke market structure, the previous high. Check this out. This confirmed you better hold your runner breaking through this high. Right there, that's market structure right there. That confirms this liquidity grab buy. That's market structure break. This last buy signal, this is a momentum trade, not a zone trade, but it's still with the momentum of the market. The relative strength is up. Look at this. The relative strength is up. Yellow trigger entry. That one was at 12 3/4, and it got as high as 19 3/4. The system is now 2 for 2 in that 9:35 to 10:15, 10:10 to 10:15 trade zone. What time is it? 10:15. Now I give you weekly targets. Here's our weekly targets. And when they change, I'll mark them up. I give these on Sunday night. There's our weekly targets as we get these liquidity grabs buy and sell, so you know your overall target. I got my market profile target over here to scale at 20, I told you guys. But this market can go all the way today to 69.55. This market can go to 69.55 today. That's how much room we got to the upside on these liquidity grabs. There's where market structure broke to confirm the liquidity grab. If you understand market structure, it's a previous high break on a liquidity grab zone. And here's your market structure break over here also, confirming if that got into the zone. This didn't get the zone, but that is a market structure break. But you can see what happened. There's your ultimate buy right there. Where's your stop? Where's your ultimate stop? Where's it got to be? It's got to be below the integrity of the zone. No matter what you use. I know, Clay, you like to use your tick charts to get in here at the zone. He likes to use smaller stops. Good job. For confirmation, pushing himself in. You don't have to use the 1-135 just when you get in the zone to push yourself in. If you don't want to, you can use other just when you're inside the zone. Know where your stop integrity is. The stop integrity is right below the zone. Got to be below the zone. Okay? But this set everything up for us right there. So you traders, you members, if you need this setup, email me here, members. If you're watching this video, a lot of you members don't trade the ES and you're outside of the room right now. Just email me right here, members, and I'll be glad to set this chart up for you. I did this for the members that are in the room on the ES this morning. I set this up pre-market before it even broke, saying, hey, we're in a strong relative strength. Look for the first buy setup. Our buy setup was right there. Our zone caught that low. Look at that sweep they did. That's a liquidity grab sweep, and we were right on top of it. And caught the low of the zone. There we go. That's how you do it, guys. We're going to do this on a day-to-day basis. I'm going to set this up again tomorrow for you guys. I'm getting in later now and on the microphone at 8:45. This is 8:15 because I want to set you up for pre-market open. 8:15 is way too early to start looking at price action. If I'm trying to trade the New York Open from 9:35 to 10:15 to put on a major possible move up or major possible move down. So tomorrow at 8:45, I'm going to jump in here again, and we're going to go right away. Are we buying liquidity sweeps? Are we selling liquidity? We'll look at our oscillator like I did today. I got in. I said we're only going to buy today. No shorts. Even typed in the room. No shorts. Only buys. Only buy zones. No shorts. None. Until this oscillator gets below 50. If that oscillator went below 50, I would immediately think short side, sell zone, short the market. If it got below the 50 MA, the blue line, sell the market with this oscillator. But no, they both lined up. 50 MA, the blue, it's been above it all day since yesterday. More importantly, we got this oscillator now helps you out with the sell zone or buy zone. That was the hardest part about my system that traders couldn't understand. Do I buy zone or sell zone? In other words, where traders were having a problem, that's why I came up with this to help traders out. They were doing this. They were getting in these yellow trigger entries for every yellow trigger entry that wanted to get in. Well, now you don't have to do that. You don't have to take a wild guess if it's in a buy zone or which buy zone or sell zone is the highest probability trade. There's no throwing darts at it now. Which zone is the best zone to take? It's very simple. If the market strength is up, you're only going to take buy zones. If the market strength is down, you're only going to take sell zones. The market strength has been up. My oscillator has been up above 50 since 1:30 a.m. this morning. 1:30 a.m. this morning, oscillator's only up. You take zero shorts. I even typed in the room pre-market, even talked on the microphone. These are not qualified shorts inside the first 5-minute opening range. This is junk. Let it confirm on buy side liquidity. There's your push. There's your first retracement. And look what happens. Now we got a big target all the way up to 69.55 for the day. These targets are known for the entire week. I gave you all the targets for the entire week Sunday night. And I'll put them in the chat room for the entire week. We hit our first target yesterday already. We hit that one yesterday at 68 or the 15 level. So that's how we're going to do it. Look for relative strength. The strength of the mark is up, and that's going to tell you whether to take a buy zone or sell zone. All right, we got a target up here, guys, at 69.20, but I got this market going all the way up today. 69.55. Good job, traders.